Hello, everybody. Welcome to Channel Update with me, Get Dave, the late edition. I thought I did one of these more recently than I did, but it turns out the most recent channel update was October, so sorry, everybody. I thought I was doing this like a couple weeks ahead of time. As it turns out, not so much. So in channel news, in channel olds, I did a Dominus Galaxia Let's Play. Yeah, the name doesn't roll off the tongue. But if you like 4X games, it's the one for you. Anyway, that was a long time ago. That's yesterday's news. Dragon Quest Builders 2 is also done now. There might be the occasional update where I do a stream. Like I did a stream last time, just revisiting the island, seeing how the treehouse was holding up, checking out the casino renos. I might keep doing that. I know some people definitely get a I don't know how to describe it. From my point of view, it sounds like people are describing the feeling you get when you watch like Star Trek The Next Generation, and you know what? Things might be okay. So yeah, I might revisit that possibly indefinitely. Because, it'd be nice if, a couple times a year we checked in on the old island. I'm still playing the game, still loving it. I thought I might rename the townspeople after subscribers and commenters and people watching the stream. It could be a fun little thing. Fire Emblem Three Houses is going on right now. I think I'm probably over halfway done. I'm hoping the episode doesn't hit 100, or the episode count doesn't hit 100 episodes. What's wrong with having a 20-hour game? Anyway, that's just me. They're putting out DLC. I probably won't do it. It adds a fourth secret house, making 5 paths through the game because there's already one for each house, and then the one house has like a second option basically. So that's kind of neat. Now on to the future. The Final Fantasy VII remake was delayed only a month and a week, I think, or something like that. It's in April anyway. I was prepared for much worse when I read it was getting delayed. So at first it looked like Three Houses was going to go right up until the release date, but that'll probably have a gap now. I plan on revisiting Hollow Knight. I'm just going to delete the old Let's Play and redo it. So that might fill out the gap. I might not be ready in time. I want to get good before we do that. If you have any suggestions for short games that could fill the gaps, let me know. If you want to hammer through another Mega Man or something. We got options, right? Let me know. And a place you could let me know is on the Discord. I set it up. We might have some hiccups for a little while I figure stuff out. I don't know anything about running a Discord. I'm starting to use it a bit more. I got it running now. So I know something about it, but nothing about running it. So we'll see if there's some kinks or whatever. But yeah, there's gonna be a link on the channel page and in the comment section, and that'll stay up until spammers start showing up. Patronus asked for it, so here it is, nice and light. And I don't know if it'll see a ton of action or not, but we'll try it out, and it's a good place for you to put in requests, and we can have sort of half disconnected conversations. I'm not super prompt on stuff, but I do read everything, and yeah, maybe it'll be more conducive to discussion, so we'll see. Be cool on it, everyone. In other news, I started a company called Reclamation Games. I'm working on a video game to be released exclusively on the Epic Game Store. I'm kidding. Just write in the comment section if you got triggered. People are really upset about that. I don't really get it. I'm working on it. It's going to launch on Steam first. The plan is later this year. Cyberpunk 2077 also got delayed. It may have poached my release window. We'll see about that. Either way, I'm working on a story-driven Metroidvania, and it follows a young woman named Reyna, and I'm excited to share it with you. And what have I been working on, and other people been working on? A lot of working on new movement abilities for Reyna, and some more meat and potato stuff, camera tinkering just to help keep things smooth. Saving and loading are fully functional. That was something that was kind of scary to me, and as it turned out, was not too bad. Music is integrated into the game. Meshing, animating, rigging, texturing, UV mapping, the works on a ton of stuff and people. And I'm about to code the first boss fight. That's I'm recording this on a Friday. That's the plan for me to start 8 a.m. Monday morning. And I'm doing a rework on combat again just to tighten things up. It seems like on the really important features, I do a lot of revisions. I hate doing rework, but when you know something could be better, you kind of have to. I reworked the movement code two more times after I played Celeste. And I've talked about this. I talked about movement code in so many of these updates. But Celeste was punchy and smooth at the same time. I didn't think it could be done. So combat has had a few reworks as well, because, I learned a lot from, Metroid and Castlevania, the obvious ones, but then Guacamelee was in there. I learned from Ori and the Blind Forest. I don't like the combat. But also I learned a little bit from Hollow Knight, which I've been playing more recently. It reminded me that things don't have to be too complicated. Incidentally, I also learned a really important thing about a change that I needed to make to the script as well, because I don't want to get into details, but I added 2 characters just based on playing Hollow Knight and realizing the importance of there's just kind of people doing stuff. What importance do they have to the plot? None. But they just kind of are there. Realized, oh hey, I've got to have bystanders, because you're making a video game, not a movie. And I even argue that maybe movies are troubled by having everybody they show essential. There's no one who could be cut. There's nothing that could be cut from this movie, and that actually might be a detriment because it makes for an insular world. Anyway, so I've learned a couple things from Hollow Knight. That and the combat can be simple. It sort of gave me permission, personally, to just chill out and keep things simple a couple times. You don't need to have adaptive AI or anything like that. When the knight fights Hornet in Hollow Knight, you basically have 2 moves. There's the spirit thing, which conceivably a player wouldn't use a ton of because that eats into your healing, or just attacking. It's not a 3-hit combo even. It's just an attack. You can aim it up or down or sideways. The boss fight with Hornet, though, is really intense and meaningful, and you don't even have the dash yet. You can walk, jump, and swing. And on the flip side, Hornet only has about 4 or 5 moves, depending on how you count it. She walks and jumps. Lunge, thrower, needle, dive, AoE attack. That's it. So, and it's a really fulfilling boss fight. It's intense. There's a good pattern you can learn. It helped me a lot. Because in my mind, that's only an iteration on what they were doing in Mega Man games. And in Hollow Knight even, the AI only alternates between, it seems like they pick a move randomly, and then they move to execute it. And that's all there is. The only change up to that is an interruption, so you damage them enough that they get staggered or something like that. That's really simple. The results might be better. So yeah, that was super cool. Also, the last couple months, I've been working, I've mentioned the studio recording of the music, which is quote done. First pass is done. We're going to do some tweaks. Just have to wait on some redoing of synthesizer stuff, which I think is where it was at before, but some things just got in the way and priorities shifted. So that's starting to happen over the next little while. There's just no urgency because all the money is being spent on something else. It's funny and it's true. I've been working with an artist lately, a really good one. Basically, I was looking around ArtStation and Fiverr and everywhere, art galleries and stuff, and checking out everyone. I had tried getting a work arrangement with a couple people, 3 actually. There were one sort of problem or another. The art either wasn't up to snuff or the availability was just not there. I got in touch with a bunch of people, and they couldn't. Their stuff just wasn't really working. And then I came across someone who did a little experiment, a departure from their normal art style for Inktober. A thing people do is in October you draw only in ink because that's really good for developing your skills. Basically, you can't erase a line in ink, and I honestly highly recommend you try it. You'll learn an awful lot about yourself if you start drawing. And you think I'm being like metaphorical or super deep, but it works on those levels and it works on the shallow ones too. Like if you just take ink out, like even a Sharpie, and just try making a straight line and then try drawing over it again and then try drawing it over again, just that very act, you will learn about yourself. You'll find out, hey, if you're the sort of person who screws up and then immediately tries to fix things right away without stopping and slowing down, it's going to show up in the line and it'll be right there and you can't hide it because it's in ink. Anyway, you apply that to drawing something more complicated than a straight line and all of a sudden, you can really grow. Anyway, so people do Inktober. You just draw something in ink every day for the month of October. And this one guy from Brazil did it, and it was sort of a departure from his normal style. And he created, for me and for what I want from this game, the perfect art style. And out of the thousands of leads I've looked into, out of every single human, that's the one person I wanted. And I got him. It was awesome. So that's been really exciting. And, he does freelance work right now. He's done pro stuff in the game industry for a long time. He's freelancing now. So he's freelancing now, doing work on the game. I think at a fair rate for both sides, which is nice. But like, if you want to know what Patreon money is going to, it goes towards games and hardware costs for the channel. I'll talk about that more in the Patreon section, but and like allowing me to have art I think is the best I can possibly imagine and the best in the world. So that's really, really exciting. I literally jumped up and down and I had my hands in the air. I was like, yeah, when he was like, yeah, I'm interested in the project. And I did it again when he drew Reyna, and that's exciting. And he's drawn all the characters now, and there's more to come. So that's all very, very exciting for me. So yeah, if you want to support the channel on Patreon, this is like the first one of 2020. So I'll do the thing. This is what it helps. It gets you nothing. You get nothing out of it except the satisfaction that you're helping, and I guess public rewards that I release to everyone. But I don't believe in gating content. The idea that you're poor, so I'm not going to give you something doesn't really work for me, because sometimes it's people who are going through like tough financial times and that sort of thing that the Let's Plays can help the most. Usually it's like, usually when I get like a thank you message from someone, which happens sometimes, it's just someone's going through some type of stress, like, oh, I'm stuck in the hospital. One guy was in a motorcycle accident. That was one of the first ones I got. It's like, okay, well, he is in a bed for the next 3 weeks, so the Let's Plays are for that. But yeah, other times it's people going through personal stuff, and it's like, it's always a stressor, right? But money is one of the big stressors in life, so I don't want to gate something, gatekeep the content, or however you say it. I don't want to cut someone off just because they don't have the money. So we all rise together, we all fall together on that regard. Streams are a result of hitting a donation incentive. If someone has a cool idea for something new, I'm totally open to it. And again, when the game gets released, I do plan on having a reconciliation. It's not going to be crazy. We'll have some brainstorming, maybe on the Discord. Pick a Let's Play or some sort of like Artemis Partimus thing again. I do want to say thank you. Money also helps support the games for things like letting us record the music in a studio and hire an artist, because that sort of stuff's important to me. Like if you nail a soundtrack, it goes a long way. So, it allows me to put the appropriate prioritization on these things. And yeah, the artist, like I mentioned, I wouldn't have been able to afford anyone. At one point, I was just practicing drawing every day to see how good I could get in a year. And I was already like okay for a non-artist, or however you want to look at that, or whatever that even means. But I just couldn't get it where I wanted. And like I said, as it turns out, the right person was out there. Yeah, that's the sort of stuff that is possible because the support to the channel. If you can give, great. Check out the Discord. Let me know if there's a game you think we could fit in the gap. And do you want to see what Reyna looks like?